Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Nandana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Nandana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivāśaka Acharya Stotra Śrīmad Askan Acharya BBD Acharya Jagadguru Patita Pavana Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivāśaka Acharya Stotra Śrīmad Bhaktisiddhanta Goswami Thakur Maharaj Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Antakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Nam Acharya Śrī Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyam Kund Radhakund Giri Govardhan Ki Rashmi Vrindavan Dham Ki Gaurmandal Bhuvina Dvipmaya Puddham Ki Angamaya Yamunamaya Ki Bhakti Devi Tulsi Maharani Ki Samaveta Bhaktavrinda Ki Yuga-dharma Harinama Ashram Yajna Ki Śrīla Prabhupada Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Another ecstatic day in the movement of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan Yajna Ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Śrīla Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Bhakti Vikasa Swami Namine. Reading from preaching is the essence. It's from Adi Leela, chapter 8, verse number 4. Devotees must chant the Panchatattva Maha Mantra before every preaching function. We must strictly follow the principle of offering our respects to Panchatattva as summarized in the mantra Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. At the beginning of every function in preaching, especially before chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we must chant the Panchatattva names and offer our respects to them. So, this is goes without saying that without the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, we will not, Panchatattva will not attain the mercy of Radha Krishna. Hena Nitai Vini Pai Radha Krishna Pai Tenai Tiradori Doro Nitai Pai. So, without going through the agency, without going through the potency of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates, we will not be able to attain the lotus feet of of Radha and Krishna. So that's the agency through which we must go. And if we do this, then we'll actually not commit offenses. Because being Kali Yuga rejects, our natural tendency is to commit mistakes, commit offenses. So many offenses, I'm sure, while performing deity worship, we commit so many mistakes. While definitely chanting the holy name, we commit so many offenses. So many offenses happen all the time, but the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda are that they overlook these offenses and they give it to anyone and everyone. Dina hina yata chilo hainame utharilo tarasaki jagai madai. That, they've gone to the most lowly and the most fallen, and without considering who is fit and who is unfit, they've freely given them love of God. And the witnesses of this are the great sinners, Jagai and Madai. So, that is a mood that we must always, not think ourselves so elevated that, I'm going to directly worship Radha Krishna, forget Lord Chaitanya, forget Lord Nityananda. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that the worship of Radha Krishna and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on the highest stages becomes so intimately intertwined. So through the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we'll understand Radha and Krishna. Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3, verse number 29. Janma Guhyam Bhagavataha Yaha Etat Prayataha Naraha Sayam Prataha Grinan Bhaktya Dukagramat Vimuchyate Janma Guhyam Bhagavato Ya etat prayato naraha Sayam pratar grinan bhaktya Dukkha grama vimuchyate Janma Guhyam Bhagavato Ya etat prayato naraha Sayam pratar grinan bhaktya Dukkha grama vimuchyate Janma Guhyam Bhagavato Ya etat prayato naraha Sayam pratar grinan bhaktya Dukkha grama vimuchyate. Janma Guhyam Bhagavato Ya etat prayato naraha Sayam prata grinan bhaktya Dukkha grama vimuchyate. Janma Guhyam Bhagavato Ya etat prayato naraha Sayam prata grinan bhaktya Dukkha grama vimuchyate. Janma Guhyam Bhagavato Ya etat prayato naraha Sayam prata grinan bhaktya Dukkha grama vimuchyate. Janma Guhyam Bhagavato Ya etat prayato naraha Sayam prata grinan bhaktya Dukkha grama vimuchyate. Janma, birth. Guhyam, mysterious. Bhagavataha, of the Lord. Yaha, one. Etat, all these. Prayataha, carefully. Naraha, man. Sayam, evening. Prataha, morning. Grinan, recites. Bhaktya, with devotion. Dukhagramat, from all miseries. Vimuchyate, gets relief from. Translation. Whoever carefully recites the mysterious appearances of the Lord with devotion in the morning and in the evening gets relief from all miseries of life. Purport. In the Bhagavad Gita, the personality of Godhead has declared that anyone who knows the principles of transcendental birth and activities of the Lord will go back to Godhead after being relieved from this material tabernacle. So simply knowing factually the mysterious way of the Lord's incarnation in this material world can liberate one from material bondage. Therefore the birth and activities of the Lord, as manifested by Him for the welfare of the people in general, are not ordinary. They are mysterious. Only by those who carefully try to go deep into the matter by spiritual devotion is the mystery uncovered. Thus, one gets liberation from material bondage. It is advised, therefore, that one who simply recites this chapter of Bhagavatam, describing the appearance of the Lord in different incarnations, in sincerity and devotion, can have insight into the birth and activities of the Lord. The very word vimukti or liberation indicates that the Lord's activities and birth and activities are all transcendental. Otherwise, simply by reciting them, one could not attain liberation. They are therefore mysterious, and those who do not follow the prescribed regulation of devotional service are not entitled to enter into the mysteries of His birth and activities. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utahpada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sujivam Sadvaitam Sadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagan Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Garanath Sindho Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namoste Jayatam Sruto Pangor Manda Matirgati Mat Sarvasva Padambojo Radha Madana Mohana Divya Vrindaranya Kalpadrumada Shrimad Ratnagara Samhasana Sto Shrimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Prasthalabi Sevyamano Smarami Shrimad Asarasaram Bi Bamsi Bhattatatastita Karshan Venuswanar Gopir Gopinathasya Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindho Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vikasa Swamniti Namane Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swamniti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Prasharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Destarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jvalantam Sarvato Mukam Nirsimham Bhishanam Badram Mrityur Namamyaham Mukam Karti Vachanam Pangam Langaite Girim Yatkripātamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, the deliverer of the most fallen souls, whose mercy enables the lame to cross mountains, enables dumb to become eloquent speakers. So, this verse is what's called the Phala Shruti. Phala means fruit and Shruti means of hearing. So the fruit of hearing of this whole chapter is that we get relief from all miseries of life. If we simply hear and if we simply recite these beautiful mysterious appearances of the Lord with devotion every morning and evening, then we'll be able to attain miseries we'll be able to attain freedom from all miseries of life. This material world, Martiloka, is described in Krishna, Mama Petya Punarjanma Dukkalayam Ashashvatam, that this material world is Dukkalayam, it's full of misery, and ashashvatam is temporary. Another place Krishna says, anityam asukam lokam. Anityam means, again, it means temporary. Asukam means it's miserable. So, you may think, okay, maybe my life is not so miserable. Okay, my father is so rich. I have so much money. I have bank balance. I have wealth. I have women. I have fame. I have this nice pigeonhole, building in a pigeonhole apartment in a big skyscraper in Manhattan. So, I'm pretty fine. Okay, you're fine, but time will come and say, no, sir, get out. It's your time to leave. No matter how much you can try to hold on, it's going to kick you out. And the more you try holding on to it, the more painful it is at the time of death. The people who are actually very much afraid at the time of death are those who have gotten everything they wanted in their life. Right? You've seen, you met those pampered children that everything they want, they get it. And they have such a karma that whatever they like, even until their old age, they have so much wealth that whatever they want, they just ask for it and they get it. But at the time of death, the Yamadutas won't listen to them. The doctors won't be able to give them even 1 second more of life. Śrīla Prabhupada recounts when he, in his youth, he saw that there was a great businessman, and he was telling the doctor, please give me 4 more years. I have some plans I want to complete. If you can please give me 4 more years of my life, then I can, finish all my other activities that I planned on doing. But the doctor cannot give 1 minute. Nothing can the doctor can do. That's why this temporary world is full of misery and suffering. Dukhalayam shashvatam. But we have one hope. And what's that hope? Janma karma chame divyam evan yoveti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sarjuna. That one who understands the divine quality and divine nature of the Lord's transcendental pastimes, they will not have to take birth again and again in this material world. That is the nature of the Lord's pastimes, that they're so liberating. It's a very important word in this verse. Janma karma chame devyam evan yoveti tattvataha. To know Krishna in truth is very important. And how do we know this? How do we know Krishna in truth? Mahajano yena gata sapanta. That great living entity who has understood Krishna in truth, we follow in their footsteps. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse number 3, Manushanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tattvatam. It is very, very rare to find one person who understands Krishna in truth. To understand Krishna in truth means to understand what Krishna is, understanding what Krishna isn't. Dharma projita kaitra votra paramo nirmatsaranam satam vedyam vasavam atra vasishivadam tapo trayon moolanam Śrīmad-Bhāgavate mahamuni krite kimva parair ishvara sadhyo hridya vrudyate takritibi shushubhistakshanat. Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated. This Bhagavad Puran propounds the highest truth which is understood by those devotees who are fully pure in the heart. The highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries. This beautiful Bhagavatam compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva in his maturity is sufficient in itself for God realization. What need is there for any other scripture? As soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of the Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within his heart. So to establish the Supreme Personality of Godhead in our heart, that is the ultimate aim and goal of life. You may do many activities. You may be a great philanthropist. You may go save so many people. You may be making so much money. You may have thrown a ball in a basket very expertly, jumping like a monkey. You may have kicked the ball around and done this, that, and the other thing. You may even be a great karma kandya, Vedic brahmana, like those the wives of the husbands of those wives who actually came to see Krishna and Balaram in the forest, the Vedic brahmanas. But the Bhagavatam tells us, Dharma sanashitapam sam vishvakshena katashya notpadiyad yadiratim shrama eva hi kevalam. If you haven't developed rati, if you haven't developed attachment, for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, all your activities are shrama eva hi kevalam. That is simply a useless waste of time. Why? Because you didn't understand janma karma chame divyam. You haven't understood the divine pastimes of Krishna. So what's the point? What's the point of all your activities? Right? Se sambandha nahi arbita janme gelotar. Se pashu boro durachar. That, if you haven't understood your relationship with Lord Nityananda, if you haven't understood your relationship, you are no better than an animal. After all, what's the difference between a human being and an animal? Śrīla Prabhupada writes in the purport to Yatha Hyava Hito Vanir, Darushveka Swayonishu, Naneva Badi Vishwatma, Bhuteshu Cha Tatapaman. Śrīla Prabhupada writes in this purport. First I'll read the translation. The Lord as a super soul pervades in all things, just as fire permeates in wood. So he appears to be of many varieties, though he is the absolute one without a second. So Śrīla Prabhupada writes, the Lord can be realized through the oral reception of the transcendental message, and that is the only way to experience the transcendental subject. As fire is kindled from wood by another fire, the divine consciousness of a man can similarly be kindled by another divine grace. His divine grace, the spiritual master, can kindle the spiritual fire from the wood-like living entity by imparting proper spiritual messages injected through the receptive ear. The difference between animality and humanity lies in this process only. A human being can hear properly, whereas an animal cannot. So, if you cannot hear the message of the Bhagavatam, if you cannot simply hear what the acharyas like Śrīla Prabhupada say, and if you just can't simply repeat it, but you want to add your own water, your own milk, your own stool to the language and to the pure message that the acharyas are giving, then you're no better than an animal. Se pashu boro durachar. Your activities are so disturbing that they're like that of an animal. You see? So it's so important. Nitayana bolyo mukhe, majilo samshara sukhe, vidyakule kikori betar. You're not chanting the holy name of Lord Nityananda, so therefore you're like simply always ending up in this cycle of repeated birth, death, old age and disease. So what good would your Vidya Kula would do for you? Vidya, your great learning. Wow, I'm such a great scholar. I have a PhD in this, that and the other thing. I'm a great philosopher, I'm a great scientist, I'm a great philanthropist, and this, that and the other thing. I'm a great Brahmana, born in family of Brahmana. My families have been Brahmana. I know all Bhagavad Gita. I'm still working like a Shudra for some beefeater and a drunkard. That's how much of a great Brahmana I am. And you have all these great people, but they don't even chant the holy name of Lord Nityananda. And so what use is their Vidya and their Kula? Is that Vidya and Kula going to save them at the end of birth and death? Is their word Jalgari going to save them at the end of birth and death? No. We need to have devotion, and the devotion comes through the Guru Parampara, and we should hear that through a receptive ear. And we hear it to the receptive ear. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yashashmi tatvata. Krishna says, only through devotion you can understand Krishna. That's why whoever carefully recites these mysterious appearances of the Lord with devotion in the morning. You may be a great academic study. You can maybe be a great academist who studied the Bhagavad Gita, and you've read all the commentaries of all the acharyas, and you may have even read this commentary, that commentary, and you have a nice degree on your wall which says PhD in Bhagavad Gita or whatever. But because you're a mulecha and you have such nasty habits of smearing paper on your back after you pass stool, you can take that PhD and do that with it, because that's the only use of your PhD degree if you don't have devotion to Krishna. Because such a mulecha, you don't have any brain, you don't have any devotion. You think that simply by doing some mental masturbation you can reach the absolute truth, but that's not how it's reached. Krishna tells that you can reach him only through his devotee. Without Krishna's devotee, what hope do we have? How can we constantly think of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? How? If we can't simply surrender to the hearing process. There's the famous verse, Shrinvatam Swakata Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtana, Hridayantasya Bhadrani, Vidunoti Shuhit Satam. Right? So what is Krishna, what's the translation of that verse? Translation of that verse is that we must simply, by hearing the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we can go back to Godhead. Right? But what does Prabhupada write in the purport? There you go, let me read the exact translation. Shri Krishna, the Personality of Godhead, who is a Paramatma, super soul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses the desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee, who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. Right? So there's such a sweet thing. What do we expect Prabhupada to speak about in this purport? Right? We may expect Prabhupada to speak about the sweet pastimes of Radha and Krishna, of Yashoda Mai and Krishna Balaram, Gaur Nitai, right? Rasa Leela. Why not? We can expect Prabhupada to speak about all that, but you see, what does Prabhupada write? One cannot, there's a lot of Prabhupada writes, but I'm focusing on this. One cannot enter into the kingdom of God unless one is perfectly cleared of all sins. Material sins are the product of our desires to lord it over material nature. It is very difficult to get rid of such sins. Women and wealth are difficult problems for the devotee making progress on the path back to Godhead. Many stalwarts in the devotional line fell victim to these allurements and thus retreated from the path of liberation. But when one is helped by the Lord Himself, the whole process becomes as easy as anything by the divine grace of the Lord. To become restless in the contact of women and wealth is not an astonishment, because every living being is associated with such things since remote time, practically immemorial, and it takes time to recover from this foreign nature. But if one is engaged in hearing the glories of the Lord gradually, he realizes his position. By the grace of God, such a devotee gets sufficient strength to defend himself in the state of disturbances, and gradually all disturbing elements are eliminated from this world. You see, Prabhupada could have spoken about Radha Krishna, Pranamora, Yuga Kishora, Jivane Marane Gati Nahe Arimor. Prabhupada could have, quoted that verse and could have given us the esoteric nectar, right? But Śrīla Prabhupada gives us this because this is also nectar. In order for us to actually taste the pure pastimes of Shri Radha and Krishna, we must actually clear our heart of all the anarthas. Krishna is Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavam, Purusham Shashvatam, Divyam, Adidevam Ajam Vibhum. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. It is the Supreme Pure. Why will He come and sit in a heart which is full of nasty things? Why? Therefore, the Acharyas like Śrīla Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, and their sincere and faithful followers are considered to be sweepers in the marketplace of the holy name which Lord Nityananda began. They sweep all the dust away from the hearts of the customers so they can come and take the pure holy name from this great personality, Sri Nityananda Prabhu. These personalities come to do that, right? And we need to understand, right? So we need to understand Krishna's Supreme Personality of Godhead. The previous verse says, Ete Sham Sakalah Pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indriyari Vyakulam Lokam Mrigayanti Yuge Yuge. Right? Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. From Him comes all avatars. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, verse number 8, Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhava matta sarvam pravartate iti matma bhajanti mam buddham bhava samavata. That Krishna is the source of everything. Source of everything means source of everything. Source of everything means source of Vishnu, source of Balaram, source of Rama, source of Nrsimha, source of the whole material world. Krishna is the source of everything. Source of what is Brahman, source of everything. Krishna is the source, and one who understands this properly does his bhajan. So we need to understand this, that you see, there's this amazing pastime on Lord Balaram's birthday. He had to stay back at home because his mother wanted to, do the things that mother do to their children in the spiritual world when it's their so-called birthday, although he's eternal. But for the sake of pastimes, Lord Balaram stayed back at home. And Krishna went and was playing with his cowherd boyfriends in Vrindavan. And one of the, pasturing the cows and all that. And then that time, Lord Brahma came and he was thinking, how can this guy be God? And then he just steals the cowherd boys, from Krishna for one whole year. And then Krishna, expands himself into all these different cowherd boys and cows. And the whole show goes on like that for one whole year. And Brahma is shocked. Then he comes and he sees this, sees these cowherd boys, and then he's so confused that all these boys are still there doing the same things exactly the way Krishna could could actually play exactly, could imitate exactly what these people do, exactly the way they do it. And Brahma was so shocked, and all of a sudden these cowherd boys they transformed into 4-armed Vishnus, and they were demigods, and they were Gandharvas, and they were great sages. There were so many living entities bowing down, chanting the Purusha Shakta prayers, Om Tat Sat, Om Tat Vishnu Adhyat Paramam Padam. They were chanting all these great verses from the Vedas and worshipping Vishnu, right? And Brahma was getting so bewildered, and Krishna realized Brahma can't take it anymore, and he stopped again, And there the Acharyas explain that, Krishna, the Swayam Roop Krishna of Vrindavan, he's so rare and he's so pure that even the Vishnu Tattva incarnations want to serve Krishna. So this pastime of what Lord Brahma did to steal the cowherd boys away gave all these Vishnu Tattva expansions an opportunity to serve Krishna. So that for one whole year they could come and they could serve Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they had their heart desire fulfilled. All the mothers, all the cows, all of them wanted to have Krishna as their own child. So Krishna fulfilled their desires like that. That is Krishna. Krishna is so great that even Vishnu wants to come and serve Krishna. Of course, different. We learn from the Brahma Samhita. Deepar chire vahidashantaramapi petya deepayate vivrita hetu samana dharma yastadrik evahi cha vishnu taya bhibhati govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Govinda is the Adi Purusha. He is the original candle. From this candle comes all the other candles. So in one sense, there's no difference between one candle and another candle, but the first candle remains the original candle, the main candle. Right? So there's no difference between Krishna and Balarama. Their potency is the same. There's no difference between Krishna and Rama. Their potency is the same. But still there is a simultaneous oneness and difference. Right? So they're one, but they're also different. Because Krishna is the Adi Purusha. You see, it's so hard to understand, it's, God, when you say God, people are like, oh, he must be like this angry man, sitting on a cloud, casting people into hell forever and giving them bread if he likes them and if they go to the right church. Or that, God, he's so great that you can't describe him in words. You can't say you can't say anything. So if Krishna was so inconceivable, we couldn't even relate to him. Right? They say, they call, the translation for God in English is Almighty. They say the Almighty, He is Almighty. So then I remember talking to a Muslim. He said, oh yeah, Allah is Almighty. I said, yeah, we agree Allah is Almighty. And then they said, but He's a person, right? He said, no, He is not a person. I said, how can you say He is not a person? Because the word He itself is defining that He's a person. He said, oh, it's not like that. What do you mean it's not like that? Your whole, it's amazing how much non-philosophy is in that so-called philosophy. It doesn't make any sense. You see, so people have all these misconceptions of God. How will they go back home back to Godhead? Impossible. They're not worshipping, the son of Mother Yashoda for sure. How will they go back home back to Godhead? You see? So we need all these different conceptions of God, right? So they say God is inconceivable. But then it's easier to understand Narayana, right? Narayana is He's supreme, He's divine, He's being worshipped, all opulences are there, people do puja, this, that and the other thing. There's pastime in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam when Gopakumar finally makes his way to the spiritual world. He's in Vaikuntha. And he's serving along with all the, four-handed Vishnu forms, dressed as a cowherd boy, obviously out of place. And he's while they're doing the service, he's singing songs, oh, Krishna break the pot, and he stole the butter from Mother Yashoda, this and the other thing. And the Vaikuntha Vasis tell him, hey, stop singing all that here. Vishnu simply did that to bewilder Kamsa. But like, even they couldn't understand the sweetness of Lord Krishna's pastimes. So it's like, it's so rare. Like, it's easy to understand. Narayana is, is the supreme four arms, the Srivatsa, Vaijayanti garland, Yam the bus, but for Krishna, it's even harder to understand that, because what sort of a God eats with his left hand? What sort of a God accepts food that like his friend eats, oh, this is really good, why don't you eat this? What sort of a God accepts that? What sort of a God jokes, right? What sort of a God is like, goes to someone's house and lets the cows running out, and when the cows run out and all the people leave, they quickly steal the butter. What sort of a God is that, right? It's inconceivable. It's hard to understand that this person, this small boy who's like running in fear of Mother Yashoda, and his pearl necklace is shivering, in fright, and he's crying tears of fear, and like his mascara is smeared all over him. This small boy who looks like, whose complexion is that of a blackish blue lotus, this boy is God? How can you understand that? Well, the Shastras explain, Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam Adhyam Purana Purusham Navayavvanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhakto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Even through rigorous study of the Vedas, you cannot understand Krishna. Only when the devotee showers his mercy upon you will you understand Krishna. As Krishna is the oldest, and at the same time he is the youngest. Right? So, how do you understand this? We can only understand it by oral, by receptive ears. When we simply understand this by receptive ears, then we'll actually be able to put, put the right things in the right place. You see? It's so hard to miss the point, right? So, and we may think, okay, the pastimes of Krishna are like sort of hard to understand. Right? There's like a snake demon, opens his mouth. There's like a donkey demon. There's a horse demon. There's a whirlwind demon. Right? What are the demons we got? Putana. There's a big giant witch-like demon. You have all these demons, right? But Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj says that maybe you can understand the pastimes of Krishna, but to understand the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya is highly, highly impossible. You can only understand this by oral reception, by simply submitting ourselves to the bona fide spiritual master. In the Shastras, we know Tadvidi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya Upatikshanti Te Jnanam Jnanena Satyadarshana. We must approach a bona fide spiritual master, and serve him and submissively inquire from him, and then he'll reveal the tattva unto us. Then we'll understand. You see that Krishna is Supreme Personality of God. Then we'll understand Krishna in truth. Otherwise, it's very hard for us to understand, who Krishna is, what he's doing, why he's doing like this. There's another famous line from Narottam Das Thakur's bhajans is Gaurangera Nitya Nitya, that the dancing of Lord Chaitanya is eternal. The beautiful dancing pastimes of Lord Chaitanya are eternal. And our whole goal should be to join the beautiful dancing pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. Right? Another famous line is Golokera Prema Dhan Harinam Sankirtan. Right? That the beautiful, loving mellows that is experienced in Vrindavan, the amazing pastimes that are experienced in Vrindavan, are actually understood, have actually come down in the form of the Harinam Sankirtan movement. And we must understand this, right? One thing Queen Kunti says to Krishna when she sees him, Krishna is so hard, to, Pavan, I want to go down and give the offering. She says, it's so hard to understand, Krishna, how people don't see you as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, because you're within everything, you're outside of everything, you're everywhere, but how do people miss the point? Right? And we can understand that Krishna is everything, right? But what we actually need is this. Premanjana charita bhakti vilochanena santa sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti yam shama sundaram achintya guna sarupam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. That our eyes must be smeared with the salve of love of God by the spiritual master. And then we can see Govinda. Why is it so hard to see Govinda? He's everywhere. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Rasoha Mapsukonteya Prabhashmi Shajashuryayoh Pranavah sarva vedeshu shabdake paurusham rishu. That Krishna is the taste in water. Krishna is the light of the sun. Krishna is the light of the moon. Any sound, shabdake paurusham rishu, any sound that you hear in the sky, that's also Krishna. How do we miss the point? Śrīla Prabhupada, being so merciful as he is, person came to him, he said, this guy is not able to give up wine, Śrīla Prabhupada said, all right, if he's not able to give up wine, just know that even Krishna has a taste in wine and you'll make a little bit spiritual advancement, very little. But as you keep realizing that, eventually you'll give up your bad habits and you'll surrender to Krishna. Of course, it's a rare thing and we don't promote alcohol drinking and this, that and the other thing. But, that's there, Krishna is in the taste of everything. So yes, sure. Krishna is also a taste in the abominable substances. Right? After that, Krishna is asoham apsukontaya prabhashnisha shureyo pranavah sarva vedeshu shabda ke paurusham rishu. Then after that, Krishna says, Punyo gandha pritivyam cha tejashashmi vibhavasho jivanam sarva bhuteshu tapashashmi tapasvishu. Krishna says that he is the aroma of the earth, he is the fragrance of the earth. He is the penance of all ascetics. He is a prowess of all. He's a prowess of all powerful. That's Krishna, right? So when there's something that's some nice smell is coming from the earth, you can realize that even that fragrance is Krishna, right? When you see that someone is performing so much austerity, the austerity itself is Krishna, right? There's so many ways you can understand this, right? Krishna. Then again after that he says, Bijam mam sarva bhutanam vidhipartha sanatanam buddhir buddhimatam asmi tejas vinamaham. He is the seed giving father of all living entities. Bijam mam sarva bhutanam vidhipartha sanatanam buddhir buddhimatam asmi. Krishna is the intelligence among the intelligent and he is a prowess among the powerful. Right? So when you say that someone is an intelligent, that intelligence is also Krishna. The prowess is also Krishna. All these things are Krishna. Why do we miss the point? Krishna says again, Balam balavatam chaham kamaraga vivarjitam dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatashava. Krishna says, you see, he is sex life that are not against the rules of the Vedic scriptures. He is the strength of the strong. You see someone really strong, someone lifting the U-line with one finger, or lifting, whatever they're lifting, they're lifting so many things, You see Bhakti-Rayan lifts so many things, but that strength that Bhakti-Rayan has, is coming from Krishna. So you can see that strength is also, coming from Krishna, right? Bhakti-Rayan has this amazing quality of being able to wrap Sapta Rishis like no one else. You can see that quality is also coming from Krishna, right? All these good qualities that you see, it's coming from Krishna, so you need to recognize. You need to consider the source. You need to understand. Consider the source means aham sarvasya prabhavo. Then you'll understand, Krishna. Krishna again after that he says, Yechaiva satika bhava rajasastamasa matta eveti tan vidhi natvaham teshu te mai. That there's all these, these different modes, be they of goodness, passion, or ignorance. They're all energies emanating out of Krishna. Right? So how can we miss the point? Krishna is everywhere. Krishna is so far in Goloka Vrindavan, but he is also in every atom. Right? We learn from this Shastra, Eko Pyaso Rachiyutam Jagadanda Koti Yachaktirasi Jagadanda Chayaya Danta Andantarasta Paramanu Chayantarastam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Like Krishna is within every atom and is between those atoms also. Krishna is within our heart. Krishna says again in the Bhagavad Gita, Ishvara sarva bhutanam hiddeshaya janatishthati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantrarudani maya. That Krishna is within the heart of all living entities. You see, and he is directing their wanderings, as though they're entities seated on a machine made of material energy. So Krishna is within our heart, and we just have to realize His pastimes in truth. And we realize His pastimes in truth, then we won't have to take birth and death again. Bhaktivinoda Thakur famously sings in a bhajan, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Daya Kori. Swapashada Shriya Dhamma Sabe Avatai Atyanta Dulabha Prema Kori Bareda Sikai Sharanagati Bhakatera Pran. That he says Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has kindly descended to the spiritual, to the material world from the spiritual world, along with his associates and his whole Dhamma, his whole abode. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has descended, and he has come down to descend and teach the devotees Sharanagati. He's come down to teach the people in general Sharanagati, which is the life of the very devotees. That's the first song of Sharanagati, first song, introduction song of Sharanagati. He's come down to teach us this. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come down to teach us this process of Sharanagati, to take full shelter of Krishna. Avashara kibe Krishna Vishwasa Pala. No matter what happens, Krishna will protect me. No matter, Krishna is everywhere, right? I'm speaking a lot of theory. It's not realization, of course, but it's theory. Like this is what the Shastra says. That, Krishna is everywhere, so we must have faith that Krishna will protect us, right? This is our line. This is like Lord Nityananda's line. Right? Śrīla Prabhupada, he was. I can actually. Where's my phone? If I have my phone, I could read the exact letter. Anyone see my phone? Wow, everyone sees it but me. Oh wow. Okay. Thank you. You guys have the eyes to see. So yeah, here you go. So in this letter, Śrīla Prabhupada is lecture. This is the lecture, yeah. Śrīla Prabhupada is speaking about himself. And hold on. Not this. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Okay. This is from lecture of Śrīla Prabhupada, May 23rd, 1975. He says, we have to take little patience. That is preaching work. Don't be impatient. Let us do our duty on behalf of Krishna. Even the result is not very appreciable. Still we have to do it. This is preaching, just like Nityananda Prabhu. He was heard by Jagai Madai. Still he was determined. No, these two boys must be delivered. Here's the example. Never mind, they have injured me, still I shall deliver them. And he did it. They became Vaishnav. So our preaching determination should be like that. Not that we are a failure in some cases and therefore give it up. No, this is our business. This is our family business. We must go on doing this. Failure or success, it doesn't matter. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to preach. He said, if you are a failure, he never said, if you are a failure, don't preach. Never said that. Yare deka tare kaha Krishna upadesh. Whomever you meet, you just give him the instruction of Krishna. He never says that. If somebody does not hear you, don't do it. No, Krishna said that. Don't talk with the fools and rascals and those who are not undergone some penances. Krishna said. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so kind. He said to everyone, just like I came to the Western country with no hope. I knew that my god brother Ban Maharaj came. He failed. Then Goswami Maharaj was there. So many Swamis and Yogis came here. Nobody could turn them. So I came here with a purpose. Let me try. But I was not at all hopeful. By Krishna's grace it is. But by Krishna's grace now it's successful. You see? Śrīla Prabhupada, he didn't give up. He had full faith that Krishna will protect him. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, text number 22, says, Ananyashintayanto mam yejana paryupashate tesham nithyabhiyuktanam yogashema vahamyaham. To those who are constantly meditating on Lord Krishna's pastimes, for them, Lord Krishna himself, on his transcendental form, to them, Krishna carries what they like and preserves what he has, what he does and what he has. You see? So Krishna always carried what Śrīla Prabhupada, Prabhupada, of course, he has everything because he has Krishna. But he took care of Śrīla Prabhupada in such an amazing way. And even great personalities like Śrīla Prabhupada went through tests, so many tests. So, we must also, be willing to follow in their tests. Through these words, we through these words, if we simply, with devotion, right? That's why Śrīla Prabhupada, he says, actually the verse itself, it says this very amazing thing actually. Where's that? It says, there you go. Sayam, evening, and Prata, morning. Right? So, Sayam, Prata, Grinan, Bhaktya. Recites with devotion, right? So, here, it stresses the importance of waking up early in the morning and performing devotional service. Waking up in the morning is so important, and so we can perform devotional services that, if we're sleeping in the morning, if we're not taking valuable advantage of the Brahma Muhurta period, of the Sandhya, of all these auspicious times, then we're simply, wasting a human form of life. We're so lucky, it's so rare to get this, labdhvasu durlabham idam bahu sambhavante. That this human form of life is so rarely achieved. And when this human form of life is rarely achieved, we must make full use of this time in the morning and chant around attentively, attend Mangalarti, attend Bhagavatam class, attend Darshanarti, attend all these artis, and so we can actually, in our heart, we can develop samskaras which are positive, which can actually be favorable for devotional service. And if we do that, then we can have some hope that all these anarthas will go away, and these samskaras become more prominent in our heart, and they become so prominent that these other samskaras of the material world won't be prominent. You see? So we must actually, with sincerity and devotion, chant the glories of Krishna. Right from the beginning of our day in this ashram, right in the beginning of our day till the end of our day, we're practically speaking chanting the glories of Krishna. If we constantly keep doing like this, then, and in the process, being with each other, getting rid of all our back home, back to Godhead. I want to give them such an opportunity that they can, even in this fallen cycle, in Bhagavatam it says, Prayen alpayusha shabhya kalavasmin yugejana manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya hupadritaha. Then, this day and age, people are so unfortunate, that they're misguided, they're unlucky, they're short-lived, and most of all, they're very unfortunate. You see that they don't have anything good going on for them. But the one good thing in this Kali Yuga is Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nastaiva 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 Gatiranyata. So let's inoculate the city with the transcendental vibrations of Mukunda, Madhava, Yadava and Hari. And let's bomb this Devi Dham with Śrīla Prabhupada's books. Right? Imagine, you're sitting in your hellhole life, that living in your life is practically no better than hell, and you go into your dungeon which you call home, which is fully covered with ignorance, and maybe there's a small layer of goodness or a small layer of passion, right? And you're living a materialistic life, and all of a sudden you receive a Mahatattva which is about this huge, right? And then you just stack it up in the middle of your house. Can you imagine what's going to happen to your house just by those books just being there? Those books are going to drill a hole. They're going to drill a hole in your house. They're going to drill a hole in their life. And we give them this opportunity, not only to hear the holy name, but to get sadhu sangha, to get the association of Śrīla Prabhupada. And Śrīla Prabhupada's association will lead them to the association of Vaishnavas in connection with Śrīla Prabhupada. And then they will all go back home, back to Godhead.
What is a Mahatattva?
Mahatattva, that's right. Thank you, Krishna Prasad Prabhu. A Mahatattva is a beautiful combination of transcendental literatures, and this transcendental combination consists of a Bhagavad Gita, a Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Part 1, chapters 1 to 8, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Nectar of Devotion, Krishna book, Journey of Self-Discovery, A Science of Self-Realization, and the whole Śrīla Prabhupada Leela Amrita 7 volumes. So this beautiful transcendental mixture will actually deliver people from the worst kind of suffering. Even if they don't take the big stack, even if they take the small spiritual yoga, or the art of eternal love, bhakti yoga, or beyond birth and death. You see, all these things, they're going to make a difference. Even one word from Śrīla Prabhupada's books has so much potency that it can deliver the whole universe. So much potency. It's filled with so much devotion. Each word in Śrīla Prabhupada's books, this is not just ink on paper. These words are Krishna himself agreeing to appear through the words of his pure devotee. That is the potency of Śrīla Prabhupada's books. And that we're going and giving. So let's bomb this God-forsaken city of New York and give these fallen conditioned souls an opportunity to go back home, back to Godhead. Kalaya dosha nide rajan asya hekad mahadguna kirtanad eva Krishnasya mukta sangha param vijayat. Let's do kirtan of Krishna. Let's go. Let's do this. And let's give them the opportunity to associate with the Mukta Sangha Param Vrajat. Let's give them an opportunity to associate with the liberated personalities of Vraja. Are there any questions or comments?
Just a couple comments online. Robert Rose.
Robert
tuned in.
Yo.
He said Shalom, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Rob.
Which Robert?
Rob.
Harinam, Rob.
Yeah, Harinam, Rob.
And also Ishwari General. She said she's tuning in from India, from Mayapur. She was just at the temple of Jagai Maharaj.
Wow. It's
And,
amazing.
Mr. Chitta Prabhu said, Prabhuji, thank you so much for your wonderful class.
Wonderful.
Is there
Wonderful.
a reference to your statement that the Brahma pastime was an opportunity for Vishnu Tattva to serve?
Yeah. One disciple of Śrīla Prabhupada wrote Shivaram Maharaj's books, right? I forgot whose book. In Shivaram Maharaj's books, like Shivaram Maharaj quotes this, and one devotee was reading from these books, and he told us that. I can pull up the exact reference and send it to him. That's it? Yes, Bhaktarayan.
So, I want to understand how when you say Krishna is everywhere, but yet can be at the same time not Krishna.
Yeah. So that actually is no need for me to explain it in my own words, because Krishna himself explains it in chapter 9, verse number 4. Let me read the exact translation. Chapter 7. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagata vyakta murtina mastani sarva bhutani. You mess that one up. I do the same mistake actually.
Really?
Yeah. Nacharam tesha avasthitaha. It's very similar to the other words. So, by me, in my unmanifested form, the entire universe is pervaded, and all beings are in me, but I'm not in them. Like Krishna, he is, he's present in his different energies. Krishna explains also in the chapter 7 of the Bhagavad Gita, through his separated energies, say Bhumi Raponalo Vayu Kammano Buddhirevacha Ahankara iti yamme bhina prakriti rastada. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita chapter 7 verse number 4, the exact translation is as follows: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence and false ego. Together, all these 8 constitute my material energies, separated material energies. Right, in the next one, apareyam sanyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho yedam daryate jagat. Besides these, O mighty Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind which comprises of the living entities or exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. Then Krishna is there in the form of his separated energies. Right? The famous example given is that of the sun. Right? The sun is, we can say in one sense, if the sunlight is entering the room, we can say that the sun is in the room. Right? But is the sun really in the room? The sun is not really in the room. Right? So it's like that. Krishna is there in the form of his energies. You can't directly necessarily say that, wow, that smell coming from there, it's Krishna himself. Let's worship that smell. How are you going to do that? Right? So there's a form of Krishna also, and there's Krishna. There's the energies of Krishna. Is that an okay explanation? Anything else?
Yeah, so you also mentioned that, before trying to understand and hear the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, one should first have a purified heart, by which one doesn't misunderstand the pastimes of Krishna and therefore make offenses further. But my question is, you know, I've read some places where this is that the, you know, the pastimes themselves are
in them,
medicine
yeah.
that help to purify ourselves to be able to.
Yeah, absolutely. So we understand that you know that milk touched by the fangs of a serpent is actually poison. You know, there may be milk, right, and it may be 95% milk and only 5% poison, but the whole thing is poison and we can't take it. So when we're hearing these pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna, we're hearing them from bona fide representatives of Radha and Krishna, then we'll actually be able to understand it. Right? There's that famous verse, Nivritta Tarshe Rupagiyamanat Bhavav Shadat Shotra Manobhiramat Ka Uttama Shloka Gunanuvadat Puman Virajeta Vinapashugnat. That, actually let me read the exact translation for this verse, it's really amazing. That glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is performed in the Parampara system. That is, it is conveyed from spiritual master to disciple. Such glorification is relished by those who no longer interested in the false temporary glorification of this cosmic manifestation. Descriptions of the Lord are the right medicine for the conditioned soul undergoing repeated birth and death. And therefore, who will cease hearing such glorification of the Lord except a butcher or one who is killing his own self? Right? So when we're hearing these pastimes of Radha and Krishna, when we're hearing this, we hear it from the Guru Parampara in a bona fide way. We don't go to a Bhagavad Sapta and we don't figure out Rasa Leela in 7 days. There's a process. Through this process, then we'll actually be able to attain it. And the most bona fide source for it is Śrīla Prabhupada and his faithful followers. How much did Śrīla Prabhupada talk about Rasa Leela and Manjari Sadhana and this, that, and the other thing? When Śrīla Prabhupada spoke, he gave us a whole meal, and the main course was like, you're not your body. This is material energy. This is Krishna. This is not Krishna. This is reality. This is illusion. And Śrīla Prabhupada spoke, and then in the side, he gave us a small sweet ball of Radha Krishna's pastimes, or a small this, that, and the other thing. And the best way we can understand how Śrīla Prabhupada does that is if we read Krishna book. Śrīla Prabhupada, yes, it's the 10th canto of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, but the way he infuses the philosophy is amazing. It's not like the minute you pick up Krishna book it's simply a story, No, Prabhupada explained every page, how many times Śrīla Prabhupada that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna is the Supreme Personality, Krishna is... Why? Because that is the right way of understanding. Because being conditioned souls, our tendency is to constantly think of sense gratification. We'll just take the pastimes of Radha and Krishna to be like mundane pastimes. So what's the use? So we must share the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, but in the bona fide spiritual succession. Otherwise, it'll just become a Sahajya movement. And to some extent, the parts of the Chaitanya tree which were formerly connected to ISKCON have now become dead branches due to watering down and taking Śrīla Prabhupada's teachings in Radha Krishna pastimes so cheaply. So whatever is left, we must make sure to be carefully protected. Is that okay? Good? Alright, Grantraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Śrīla Prabhupada ki Samaveta Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Prabhupada ki